Greetings, I'm Reverend John O'Toole, and I'm here for another bizarro video. And you just never know what I'm going to come up with. So, this of course is a video. I wish you to use the information wisely and responsibly, and it's mostly for entertainment, but you might learn a few things and you might even try this stuff out yourself. So I was poking around on Facebook like we all do, and so somebody was selling a laptop for $50. They didn't really give the model number or anything, but I was able to blow up the picture to see what the model number is, so I can kind of have an idea about what it is. She couldn't actually give me the model number because she wasn't at home. She was selling from her wherever she was. But so it was a laptop that needed a hard drive or the hard software reloaded on it. So often, mechanical hard drives fail, or something happens to the software and it has to be reloaded, which is very common, which is why you should always have backups. We've talked about backups. If anything, just clone your drive and keep a clone drive up to date. If you don't want to do a backup on a regular time, but you can do, there's many of them out there that have online backups. Acronis, I talk about a lot. You could do Carbonite. They'll back up your hard drive every time you're online. Any changes you make, it'll automatically go there. Except for videos. Videos are a little different, but you can you get what you pay for. So, so anyway, I got this laptop and I had someone go up and pick it up for me because I was in the middle of something else today. And so this laptop is a HP, Hewlett Packard. It isn't a bad brand. It's a pretty good brand. They've been around forever. Pavilion X360. Now, they're kind of like, like the Toyota Camaro or Corolla. They're like the Toyota Corolla, where it has 4,000 different models every year, and they still call it that. So, I'm looking it up online. I'm getting all kinds of, which model is, if it's the latest model, it has this in it, and you can do this, and if it's the older model. So, it's still not a bad laptop. It has an i3 in it, which is pretty deep. Isn't bad. We're at an i9. Most computer builds now are i9s, although if you want an i9 laptop, Intel i9 chip in your laptop, you're probably going to be paying at least $1,000 for it, if not more. And you'll have other things like a lot more memory. So this one boots up to say that it well, when I booted it up to check to see the drive, it actually says there's no hard drive. So either the drive is dead or there's no drive in it. Now, this isn't like my old HP laptop that you can just take it apart like in 5 or 10 minutes. It's just, and it popped the battery out at any time. Everything is inside, sealed inside. There's no slot for a floppy drive. So if you want to use not a floppy drive, a CD or a DVD-ROM, you're going to have an external drive to plug into one of those USB ports. But there seems to be, let's see what we got here. We got this little door on this side. This is probably for like an SD. Didn't actually look up the manual for it, but it has a button on the side. Power button. It looks like a USB 2C, USB 3C port in it. We've got an HDMI port and two USB 3s and it looks like another C. And then there's a slot for an SD card. So not bad. If it has USB 3 C. C as in cat. It's one of the faster USB ports. And then of course power. So that's not a bad laptop, you know. Now what's not on here is the sticker for Windows password, the license key. So that's a little disconcerting, which means if I want to reload, and it has a bunch of stickers on it, which I'll probably want to remove. But so right now what we're going to do is I've looked at some YouTube videos, and I'm going to attempt to get down to where the hard drive is. Convertible. Oh, so the screen bends backwards. Now, I guess you could fold it down and, so the screen folds backwards, the keyboard's on the bottom, and I guess maybe it's a touch screen. So, for $50, if this actually works, it's a good deal. If it doesn't work, then I'm out $50. So what we're going to do is take it apart, or at least try to take it apart. And if I can't take it apart, I'm obviously not posting a video. Laptops aren't really designed to be repaired. They're kind of a throwaway thing. For something that's $300 or $350 retail, they're not really put together to be serviced, you know. They want you to just buy a new one. But hey, at least I'm not buying a $1,000 drone. And then losing it in a pond. Ah, easy peasy. Alright, so here we have our laptop. We got a battery, and we have the hard drive, and this is a Western Digital blue drive, the battery, and the memory is probably on the back of the board. So I'm not going to go any further down at the moment. So let's see, it's a 3470 amp hour battery. It's a lithium battery. It's not an iCAD. Of course, it has to be lithium, being that thin. Alright, so the hard drive using the same small here's a little lift up. You lift up on the black tab, like that. I don't know if you could see it. I'll try to zoom in on it. Black tab, and then you pull out the ribbon cable. You don't want to yank on these ribbon cables. And then they just lifts out. Well, it can't go anywhere. So I have a it's going in there. Samsung 860 2.25 laptop drive SSD. Now this one here is a well, this is also a 500 gig. So if I had a terabyte kicking around, I would use that, but I don't. So Well, the memory module has to be on the other side. Alright, so we put this stuff back. We've got, looks like metal, but it goes into plastic. That's why it was stripped out. That one's probably been in here before. On Mississippi. So just checking the hard drive, it passed now. There's a built-in hardware test, and it didn't pass before. Okay, so it has a built-in PC diagnostic, and before I ran the memory test, and it passed, and I ran the hard drive test, and it failed right away. So now I'm running a check on the new drive, and it passed with a smart check or something, and it's doing another test which seems to be running all right. Well, I'm not going to put in all the screws until I have software loaded, but I'm in the process of downloading the latest and greatest Windows 10 version, which is I don't know, 2H some foolish thing. You should always make sure you run your updates, particularly if you're on a laptop and you're not always connected, because your updates may not always go through. It doesn't hurt to connect up to a hard connection, a hard wire. So the latest version of Windows 10 is 20H2. That should be the version you're running on. If you're running something behind that, then you should do what you can do to upgrade it. You know, and run it. The previous version was 2004, and the one before that I think was 1806 or 1803. So, and you can check your version of your software by going to your systems, your control panel, and then go to system, and then the about, and scroll down, and you'll see where it will say the Windows type. I have Windows Pro 10 Pro on my computer here, and the version, which is 20H2, which actually went through rather smoothly, considering the 2004 was a larger size update. But it's best to be on a wired connection and your battery, your power supply plugged in if you're on a laptop, so that it may take some time, particularly if you don't update very often. So this has passed the hard drive. I could try loading the latest version. Actually, I'll probably stop this video and wait, or not. I don't know what I'm going to do. But basically, I'm going to do next is to load the latest version of software. You probably don't need to watch me do that. You've seen me do it before on my other videos. And I'm kind of excited about that. I have a friend that's looking for a laptop. She might be interested. If it is, it's only going to cost her, you know, under $100 for it, if not less than that. And if I had a 1 terabyte available, I have a 1 terabyte drive that I use for cloning my system drive. This system drive, so I don't want to give that one up. But this is a 500, which is actually quite a lot of space unless you do a lot of film editing or video editing. And then you could always put an external drive on your laptop. The 500s are fairly inexpensive, but I would suggest going with a good quality brand name like Samsung or ScanDisk. Don't look for the bargain hunters. If you're paying less than $60 for a 500 gig, then, or even a terabyte, 1 terabyte drive, which is what I would suggest ordering, is around $100. And there are ones on Amazon for $100. So they're much more reliable, and you know, it all depends on how many times you want to reload your software. You're going to lose stuff if you don't do backups, and yeah, so well, so essentially what I have done was that I kind of showed you the steps of taking it out. Now, whatever laptop you have or whatever computer you have, you either know what you're doing or you don't. And if you don't know what you're doing, bring it to a Staples, or you know, look online for somebody local that repairs computers, and they'll upgrade your hard drive for you. It'll be a charge for it, but you know, if you're not sure what you're doing, you should have somebody who does. And every laptop is different. However, one comes apart. The one that I have, my old HP laptop, it's about 10 years old. It might be more than that, and there's like 30 screws you got to take out of it to get. Actually, the hard drive comes right out. It's a lot easier to get out. There's a couple panels. There's a panel in the back you can take off, and you can get at the memory. You can get at the battery. You can get at both batteries, because computers have a CMOS battery that keeps your time and some other values, your clock, some other stuff. So it's the CMOS battery, your main battery you use, and you can slide out your hard drive easy. This one here, everything's kind of enclosed, so you have to, and they want it that way. They don't want you taking it apart and fixing it yourself. They want you to either bring it in to somebody and pay them, or throw it away and get yourself a new one. Now it's a cheap back, it's only $360, so it's not that much. Now the other good thing about it, if you're reloading your own, you know, a registered computer, like this laptop has already been registered with Microsoft for Windows 10 home version. So when I installed it, it already knew the license key. If you were going to upgrade it to, say, Windows 10 Pro, which is kind of what I like to put on my computers, you'll need a license key, and a valid license key. Don't go looking on the internet for the cheapest license keys out there, because you could easily get ones that have been used somewhere else. You're going to put it in there. Eventually Microsoft will say, hey, you're an unauthorized license key, and there will be a little banner there in the corner saying, and some things may not work properly. And you know, considering what you get from Microsoft, it's really not a bad price. Now one of the things you can do is you can get a Windows 7 license key, the whole package. This one's actually a Windows Pro 10. This is a Windows 7 envelope. Comes inside this envelope. There's a disk. When we used to use disks, and there's a sticker that you peel off and you put on your machine, and that new license key would be entered in, and then Microsoft, through the miracles of the internet, will update this motherboard to the new license key. At this point in time, I don't see the need to upgrade it at the moment, but I might do it in the future. And so the other hard drive was definitely dead. Now, to install software, I've done videos on it. A really great YouTube channel that you should subscribe to it is Carrie Holtzman, and I'll put a link down right here somewhere to Carrie's channel on YouTube. And I definitely recommend it. There's a lot of reasons to listen to his productions, particularly his live stuff, because he talks about a lot of different things, that not just computer stuff. So, so I'll show you the screen. It's actually updating software. Now the only one thing, so let's show you that it did actually load with a Samsung. The only thing I don't like about the laptop is I can't do a direct connect to the internet. It only works on Wi-Fi. But it's small and it's light. Screen flips over onto the back. I don't know if actually so I'm not big on the mouse pad. I've never liked them. They've been around for 30 years and I've never really liked them. So, I have, an external mouse and actually an external keyboard hooked up to it at the moment. But right now I'm updating software and it's going to take a while because it's going on the Wi-Fi. But I was able to get the latest and greatest Windows 10 version on it, and we're good to go. So, happy computing, have fun, play with some fairies, because I love fairies. Keep yourself healthy and have fun. Do 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 do.